Kelvin sat on the couch, flipping through TV channels, but nothing was interesting. His mother had left for work early that morning, just like she did every day. His father worked in another city and only came home on weekends. The house felt too quiet, too empty. He sighed and glanced at his phone, but he was already tired of playing games. Emily's house was just next door and her situation wasn't much different. Her parents worked long hours and barely had time to talk. She spent most of her afternoon alone, either watching TV or wandering around the compound. When she got bored, she would knock on Kelvin's door and they would sit together talking about random things. It was their daily routine, a way to pass time. One afternoon, Emily knocked as usual. "I am bored," she said, climbing into Kelvin's room. "Let's do something fun." Kelvin shrugged. "Like what?" she sighed. "I don't know, I just wish there were more to do." They had no idea that soon they would get exactly what they wished for, and that is what would change everything. A few weeks later, everything changed. Kelvin's mother came home with a big smile on her face. "I have a surprise for you," she said, handing him a brand new laptop. "It's for school, but you can also use it for other things." Kelvin's eyes widened with excitement. He had never owned a laptop before. He quickly set it up, eager to explore. The same thing happened at Emily's house. Her father brought home a laptop, saying it would help her with assignments. Emily was just as excited as Kelvin. That evening, she rushed over to Kelvin's house. "I got one too," she said, grinning. They sat together, testing out different features, downloading games and browsing the internet. It felt like a whole world that had just been opened for them. At first, they used their laptop for harmless fun, watching cartoons, playing online games and chatting. But as days passed, they became more curious. They discovered social media where strangers post things that had never been seen. Videos kept popping up, some funny, some strange, and some different. The more they scrolled, the more they wanted to see. Kelvin and Emily spent hours on their laptop every day. At first, it was just fun and exciting. They watched cartoons, played games, and even searched for school topics. But soon, they got bored. The same games, the same shows, it wasn't enough. Then, one afternoon, Emily found something new. She clicked on a video that looked different from the usual cartoons. It had an interesting title. "Something About Grown-Up Secrets." That's the title. She hesitated but then pressed play. Her eyes widened as she watched. It was something she had never seen before. Something she didn't fully understand. She quickly sent the link to Kelvin. "Look at this," she typed. Kelvin opened the door and felt a strange excitement. His heart beat faster as he watched. "Where did you find this?" he messaged back. Emily replied, "It just popped up." That night, neither of them could stop thinking about what they had seen. They knew it was wrong, but they also wanted to see more. Kelvin and Emily started watching the videos every day. At first, they felt guilty, but the curiosity was stronger. They made sure to close their door and lower the volume. Sometimes they even watched together at Kelvin's house when his mother was at work. "Let's just see one more," Emily would say, and Kelvin would agree. But one more always turned into many more. The videos started changing them. Emily, who used to love playing outside, now spent most of her time on her laptop. Kelvin, who once enjoyed football, barely went outside anymore. Their grade dropped, but their parents didn't notice. They were too busy with work. Whenever someone called their names, they quickly closed the laptop, pretending to be doing assignments. One evening, Emily turned to Kelvin after watching a video. "What if we try it?" she asked hesitantly. Kelvin's eyes widened. "Try what?" Emily looked nervously but excited. "The things in the video, just to see how it feels." Kelvin felt his stomach twist. "I don't know." "That's not a good idea." But Emily smiled. "Come on, it's just once." Kelvin hesitated, his heart pounding. "Are you sure?" he asked Emily. She nodded, but he could see the nervousness in her eyes. "It's just once," she repeated. "No one will know." He wanted to say no, but something inside was curious. The videos has already changed the way he thought, and so, with shaky hands, he agreed. That day marked the beginning of something they could never take back. At first, it felt like a game, something exciting, something secret, but afterward, a strange feeling washed over them. Guilt, fear, regret. Kelvin avoided Emily the next day. He didn't know how to face her. She too kept her distance, but the damage was already done. Days passed as they tried to act normal. They told themselves it was over, but the thought wouldn't leave their mind. Emily started feeling different. She couldn't explain it, but something was wrong. She felt tired all the time. Food made her feel sick. At first, she ignored it, but deep down, a terrifying thought grew inside her. What if? No, it couldn't be possible, she said. Emily sat on her bed, staring at the wall, her hands trembling as she thought about the changes in her body. Her stomach felt strange and she always was tired. At first, she ignored it, but now she couldn't pretend anymore. The fear inside her grew every day. What if she was pregnant? Emily thought. The thought made her heart race. She had only seen this happen in movies, but now it was real. Kelvin noticed that Emily was acting different. She didn't come over as much, and when she did, she barely spoke. One afternoon, he finally asked, "What's wrong?" Emily hesitated. She looked down, then whispered, "Kelvin, I think something is happening to me." His heart stopped. "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath, her voice shaking. "I think I might be pregnant." Kelvin's face turned pale. "No, that's not possible," he said quickly, but inside he knew it was. The video, the choice they made, it had all led to this. Panic filled the chest. "What are we going to do?" he whispered. Emily shook her head, tears filling her eyes. "I don't know, but we can't tell anyone." Their secret had now turned into a nightmare. Emily barely slept that night, lay awake staring at the ceiling, her heart pounding. How could this be happening? She was just 12, she wasn't ready for this. She thought about telling her mother, but fear stopped her. What would her parents do? What if they hated her? The thought made her stomach turn. Kelvin wasn't doing any better. He couldn't focus at school. His hand felt cold and his mind racing with terrible thoughts. He wanted to run away from the problems, pretend it wasn't real, but every time he looked at Emily, he saw the fear in her eyes. They had messed up and now there was no way back. Maybe it was a mistake, he whispered to Emily after school. "Maybe you are not, but Emily shook her head. "I just know," she said, her voice weak. Days passed as Emily's body started changing. She felt tired all the time and her clothes felt thicker. She knew it wouldn't be long before someone noticed. One evening, as she sat alone in her room, tears streamed down her face. "What have I done?" she whispered to herself. She wished she could turn back time, but it was too late. Emily's mother started noticing the changes. "Are you feeling sick?" she asked one morning as Emily pushed her basket away. Emily quickly shook her head. "I'm just not hungry," she lied. but deep inside she knew she couldn't hide forever. Her body was changing, and soon everyone would know. The thought made her stomach twist with fear. Kelvin felt trapped. Every time he saw Emily, he felt guilty. He wanted to help, but he didn't know how. "Maybe we should tell someone," he whispered one afternoon, but Emily's eyes filled with panic. "No, if they find out, we are all finished," she said, her voice shaking. "They all hate us, Kelvin." He swallowed hard, knowing she was right, but keeping the secret was killing both of them. One evening, Emily's mother walked into her room and saw her crying. "Emily, what's wrong?" she said gently. Emily tried to hold back, but the weight was too much. Tears poured down her face. "Mom, I think I'm pregnant." The word felt like a knife leaving her mouth. Her mom froze. The room felt silent, and in that moment, Emily knew everything was about to change. Emily's mother stood frozen, her eyes widening in shock. "What? What did you say?" she whispered. Emily's hand trembled as she looked down, unable to meet her mother's eyes. "I am pregnant," she repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. Her mother's breath caught, and for a moment the whole world seemed to stop. Then suddenly she grabbed Emily's shoulder. "How? When? Who did this to you?" Tears streamed down Emily's face. "I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean this to happen," she cried. Her mother's voice shook as she let go, stepping back like she had been hit. "Who?" she asked again, her voice filled with pain. Emily hesitated, then whispered, "Kelvin." Her mother's face darkened with anger and heartbreak. Without any words, she stormed out of the room. Kelvin was at home when he heard loud banging at the door. His heart stopped when he saw Emily's mother standing outside, her eyes burning with fury. "Where is your mother?" she demanded. Kelvin couldn't speak. His mother wasn't home yet. She was at work. "You ruined my daughter's life," Emily's mother screamed, and just like that, their terrible secret was no longer a secret. Kelvin's mother rushed home after receiving an angry call from Emily's mom. She barely had time to take off her shoes before Emily's mother grabbed her arm. "Do you know what your son has done?" she shouted, her voice shaking with rage. Kelvin stood in the corner, frozen with fear. His mother looked at him, confusion in her eyes. "What is she talking about?" Tears rolled down Emily's eyes as she stood behind her mother. "Kelvin, I am pregnant," she said. The words hit Kelvin's mother like a thunderbolt. No, that's not possible," she stammered, turning to Kelvin. "Tell me it is not true." But Kelvin couldn't speak. His lips trembled and his head dropped. The silence was enough. His mother gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Both mothers broke down, crying in disbelief. "We thought we were giving them tools for learning," Kelvin's mother said, shaking her head. "But we never watched what they were doing." Emily's mother wiped her tears. "We left them alone too much, and this is the result." The weight of their mistake hung in the air. This wasn't just about Kelvin and Emily anymore. It was a warning to all parents, a painful lesson about what happens when children are left to learn about the world on their own. Thank you for watching this interesting and amazing story. Kindly like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so whenever I drop an amazing story, you will be the first to get notified. Thank you.